Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. Well, what I have for today is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to share a little story with you. As I was collecting the firewood for tonight's ceremony, I went into the wooded area and got bitten by something. Probably mosquito in 3D, but the bite is at the top right side of my neck, kind of like where a vampire would bite. So, and the crazy thing is, right after that, this insane rage came over me over a pay issue at work that's still not resolved, which I know has to do with interference that I've been experiencing, kind of as a backlash to a joint ceremony that I did with someone where we banished some really dark entities, and we knew there would be some backlash and, tried to put all protections in place. But especially when, like me, you're still working in a 3D job, rushing around all day, all week long. Sometimes, you're not in your super zen state, right? So, sometimes stuff can kind of get to you, or to me still. So I thought about it for a while, and if anyone has any thoughts and comments on this, please leave it in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. But basically, from what I understand at this point, and I'm still learning some of this stuff, right? Basically learning through firsthand experience and as I go. I mean, I've been heavily into all this shamanic stuff for the past 2 years. After actually rejecting the gift 20 years ago. Anyway, to make a long story short, I pulled out snake poison, I think 2 weeks ago, and as I poured the mustard into the toilet, which is like what I use to pull out the poison, right? The astral poison. I could see, like, it formed the shape of a squid, and I could see, and I knew instantly that it was a squid that I had pulled out with that poison. So somehow the astral snake, was able to put an astral squid into my energy field to siphon me, but also, like, what astral squids can do is they can manipulate your thought body, like your mind and your moods. And I think that's what happened tonight. And at the same time, I feel like it was more a vampire bite than a snake bite. But I mean, I actually only have like the shamanic basics with me right now, so I don't have anything representing a vampire. But since it was a bite, I'm still going to use the snake to represent sort of the snake vampire type entity, whatever that was exactly. Again, I'm an empath. I feel things. I don't necessarily see it unless it's shown to me, but this wasn't shown to me so far. So if anyone has any additional thoughts and ideas on that, that would be great. I do feel very strongly that a lot of those dark entities are working together, especially like for those of us who are in the ascension process very actively. The closer we get to the light, the more we also get targeted to be prevented from fully being in our power and, being able to completely like vanquish them. So I actually saw the devil twice. It was shown to me 20 years ago when I was first on the path, before I turned down the gift because I didn't feel fully ready yet. I saw, like, from the balcony where I was living, I saw a car that was pulled over by the police, and on the back of the car, squatting, I saw the typical image of how the devil is usually portrayed, with the hoofed foot and a tail and the horns, and it was squatting right, like, basically the hind feet were on the trunk and the hands were on the roof of the car, and it was sort of leaning forward. That was the one time I actually saw the devil. If you want to call it something else in your head, or like some kind of satanic entity, energy, being, whatever. Whatever resonates with you, but this is what I was shown, and I never believed in the devil before, so I can only speak from my own experience. I don't like to regurgitate what religious texts teach, but anyhow. And then second time was a year and a half ago when I smoked a joint with a friend, which I don't normally do, but he offered, and I thought, why not? I had a lot of trouble sleeping at the time, so and it never did anything to me before, but that time I could actually see his face change, and I saw what looked more like a demon face, sort of black and red checkered, but I knew, it's like right away the word devil popped into my head, and I knew it was the devil, not a demon, but it looked more like a demon. So these were the two instances where I knew that, like, a lot of those, let's say, satanic energies, beings, whatever you want to call them, are behind a lot of stuff, because that's actually one of the ones that still keep attacking me whenever I'm a little weaker, like on days when I'm not at my best. So I actually found this really sort of cool looking mini tree that was ripped out. It looks like the roots were down there, but at the same time it kind of made me think of sort of antlers, but somehow satanic antlers. I know this sounds a little weird and crazy probably, but you know how the devil has horns, but that one sort of like all branched out, and how that satanic force is everywhere, and it like runs deep and so on. Like, we gotta pull this out by the roots. So I'm gonna put this in the fire to actually get rid of all this satanic, energetic stuff, entity that is still messing with, I'm sure, not just me. And I'm gonna pull out whatever astral poison is currently in me, and then also I'm gonna, get rid of, I'm gonna banish that entity back to hell. Or you can, like, you can picture whatever place is basically for those kind of entities away from Mother Earth, Gaia, away from the rest of us. Whatever resonates with you. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the mustard. So to all my spirit guides, source energy, Mother Earth, please help me pull out all this evil sort of vampiric snake type poison that was injected in me, and where I'm assuming it's probably also some kind of astral squid entity that gave me that rage, that insane rage that took me a while to come out of. Okay, so round one of the mustard. Here we go. It doesn't even want to come out. Wow, let me actually open this up. See, it's like, it should come out, but it's not actually coming out. So these are the weird kind of things that sometimes happen when there's an entity trying to stop me from actually doing my shamanic work. All right, let's try this again. I'm having a really hard time getting it out. Let me actually try to get a little bit here first. Okay, some is coming out. All right, let's try again. Oh, that's gonna be a painful one. This is barely coming out. It's very strange. And I've actually used the same bottle before and it came out fine, so. Now we're in business. Okay. I'm gonna count this as round 2 because before that was barely working. Round 3. And excuse me, round 4. Wow, that was a tough one. That was really something nasty in there that really didn't want to come out. There's just a tiny bit. That's all I could get from the first pull. Whereas you can see like how much more came out after that. I'll put that in the fire after anyway. But let's deal with the entity. Okay, so let's pull whatever dark, evil, vampire, snake type entity attacked me. Out of me, my energy field, and around me, wherever it is. I cast it. Excuse me. Wow. Cast it into this wooden snake. And the I-7 star, as a representative of the highest court of justice of the Galactic Federation of Light, sentence this vampiric snake type entity back to hell to burn in the fires of hell for all eternity, or until at some point in the distant future it might be ready, able, and willing to move into the light for healing. It shall be allowed to do so, but then be bound, neutralized, and sealed into the light for the rest of eternity. And so it is. Okay, so in our 3D world, this entity shall now and forever be dead. Whoops. Oh, sorry.